So it's that time again. Summer in the UK. Allergies, hay fever. It's out in full force. If you suffer from hay fever, I feel sorry for you. I do not envy you. I am one of you. It sucks. If you don't know who I am, if you haven't met me before, my name's Joey, musician from England. Hey, what's up? So yeah, I felt a bit grim today with hay fever and stuff in England. We get it quite bad over here. The pollen count was really high, and it got me thinking about my own kind of battle with allergies and hay fever and stuff that's been going on since, fuck me, for as long as I can remember, pretty much. And in the past kind of year or so, I've actually managed to have a little bit of success with treating it, and you know, my quality of life has improved so much. And I know this is not a luxury that a lot of people have who suffer with allergies, who suffer with hay fever. So I want to see if I could offer some tips, maybe some advice, especially for anyone else out there who sings or performs. Like, obviously it affects everybody, even if you have like any kind of allergy, but if you make, you know, even if you don't make a living off of singing, you just do it for fun, it's like absolutely terrible and it can really hinder you. But you know, if it's your job and you're getting kind of screwed over by hay fever and allergies and stuff like that, then it's something that can really kind of get you down. So there's a subreddit that I follow on Reddit called Allergies, and when I was kind of looking through that before I'm shooting this, I was kind of reading some of the stories on people on there and stuff, and like the one thing that struck me, like the underlying theme of a lot of the stories, was the lack of understanding or the lack of empathy from other people who don't understand what it's like to have allergies and how much it can totally fuck up your life. It's crazy. And like, I was reading some of the stories and like it proper got me, you know, like I proper feel you, and I can really relate to all the stories on there, because I was reading it and I was like, holy shit, that's me. Like, I know exactly what that feels like. And trying to get other people to understand what you're going through is so hard, especially when, if you have like hay fever type symptoms, they often emulate that of a cold, and most people will just assume that you have a cold, but it's like, no, fuck, like the world is against me. I do not have a cold right now. I'm just getting totally screwed over by like pollen or whatever your allergy is. So when the symptoms kind of mirror something like that, it's really difficult to explain to people, and often this is why things get misdiagnosed, and it's probably why it took me well over a decade to actually finally get something sorted, because my fucking medical history for something so silly like an allergy is absolutely huge, and I was just getting bounced from person to person, from like allergists and specialists, GPs, doctors, from ENT specialists. I've had operations, like you name it. Like, I've seen everybody you can think of. I've tried every drug under the sun to try and fix this, and you get to a point where you just think like, fuck, I'm gonna have this for the rest of my life. Like, you really do feel defeated at that point, because these people are like medical professionals, and even they can't kind of figure out what's wrong with me. So it's like, well, fuck, I'm going to be stuck like this for the rest of my life, pretty much. Tip number one, from someone who's come out the other side and who hopefully, fingers crossed, won't have to deal with these issues anymore. Honestly, my quality of life has improved like tenfold. It's crazy. I'll go into that later. But bit of advice number one, do not give up. Do not give up. Because it took me fucking forever to find the right treatment for me, and I tried everything. It took so long, and what you'll find is that, you know, the GPs and doctors, they'll try their best, but they'll basically kind of experiment with you, and they will basically just throw treatments at you and see what sticks. And when they find something that sticks, then you know, then you found it. But different things will work for different people. It took me ages. As I said, I tried having an operation to drain my sinuses. I've tried so much stuff, and I finally found success in kind of steroid nasal drops and steroid nasal sprays. I'll put links in descriptions of, you know, actual stuff if you have the same issues as me, which is basically just like chronic and rhinitis, where basically I wake up every single morning and it was like someone had just turned a tap on in my face, and my nose would just run uncontrollably. So it's just absolutely insane, and it literally just totally fucked me up. I couldn't do anything. I don't even know how the fuck I even made it to work and shit. It was stupid. Like, driving right now, I would like have a tissue tucked between my legs and just be holding it to my face with one hand just to get to places. It was totally screwed. But don't give up. Honestly, do not give up. You have to persist. And in the sense of what I was talking about with trying to get people to understand what it's like and understand, you know, what your symptoms are like and the problems you're having, this doesn't just kind of go across to friends and family and work colleagues and stuff like that, which you have the conversation with, and you know, they think you have a cold, but you know, like, you're totally fucking dying, but you can't get that across to them because to them it just looks like you've got another cold or you're always ill or something. It stems across to your doctors and your specialists and your ENT specialists as well. You need to be so fucking stern with them, like, because my symptoms mirrored that of a cold when I was kind of going through it, and I didn't really think too much of it, and I felt kind of silly going to the doctors initially, but I didn't realise, because I didn't know any different, I started to normalise it in my head. And you have to think, like, I'm waking up every fucking morning, and like, the amount of mucus that my face is producing is ungodly, and it's not normal. You have to remember that, like, this stuff is not normal for us to be like this. It's not normal for me to have to fucking go outside and be allergic to the air. Like, it's not normal for me to not be able to sleep at night. You can't give up. You can't give up, because, as I said, it took me ages to find the right treatment for me, and then obviously it just kind of clicked. The second that you start to accept that, like, what you're going through is completely normal is when you fail. You need to be really stern, and, like, to the point where I was going into the doctors and kind of just being, like, a bit of a dick, but at the same time telling the truth and being like, this is pretty much like ruining my life right now. Like, I can't function at work, I can't sleep, I can't sing, which is kind of what my passion is. I can't do what I want to do. Pretty much almost every aspect of my life is being hindered because of this. I need it fixed. And the more stern you are, the more they'll push to get results. And if you're not kind of stern and kind of serious about kind of what's going on, you won't get anything in return. You know, when I went into the doctors, the last time before I actually got the treatment that I wanted, she kind of sat me down, she goes, oh, okay, well, explain to me what's going on. And I was like, just look at my medical history. She brought it up on the screen, and then all this stuff came up, pages and pages full of stuff where I've been seeing doctors, GPs and specialists for years going to get operations. So she just looked at it and went like, holy crap. And I was like, yeah, I know. Somebody who doesn't suffer from allergies or hay fever or anything like that, all of what I just said might sound like really over dramatic, but unless you've been through it, you don't know. Like, it's totally like debilitating as a human being. And I can tell you right now, as somebody who's started to come through the other side and is actually being able to like enjoy life, I can't even fathom how I got through some days with how I was. It's absolutely mental. So yeah, as somebody who sings, like, this is exactly what I needed, and I don't know how I would have carried on without it, because it was literally kind of totally screwing with my life. So, and as I said, this has just been kind of a recent thing where I've actually managed to get it sorted and find some success. So if you're still suffering now from any kind of allergy or anything like that, and if your symptoms are similar to mine, then obviously hit me up and I'll kind of let you know what I did to get it sorted. But please do not give up. Like I said, it's not normal for us to have to go through this.